All-American Trophies for all your screen printing and embroidery needs.
ArtMade, offering custom frames, art supplies, and jewelry.
Buffalo Wings and Rings, a sports restaurant experience located in South Minot.
Badlands Bar and Grill, located on 31st Avenue in Minot. Fiance, with all your prom and bridal needs, located in downtown Minot.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
KIZZ FM Z94, playing today's hit music.
Fix 99.9, Minot's music mix.
Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream, serving the Midwest since 1972.
KRRZ, 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KZPR 105.3 FM, Minot's rock station.
Jacobson Music, bringing music to the Northern Plains since 1980.
KYYX, Kicks 97.1, bringing Minot country since 1977.
MSU Beavers Hockey, online info at msubeavers.com.
Qdoba, easy, on time, full of flavor.
MSU Theater Department, year-round entertainment.
Forward Communication, connecting professionals in the Midwest.
MSU Bookstore, for all your campus needs.
The Red and Green, MSU's student-run newspaper.
Magic City Hoagies, locally owned sandwich shop located in Southwest Minot.
Spicy Pie, pizza, grinders, beer. The Minot Masonic Lodge, good men working to be better. Taco John's, offering fresh tacos, burritos, nachos, and breakfast. Thrive-In Financial, connecting faith and finances.
PMQ Entertainment, performing at weddings, proms, and dances.
The Pursuit, creating a place in Minot where everyone is welcome.
Mouse River Players, community theater since 1971.
H-Bar B Construction, for all your oil field needs.
Good evening, welcome to this week's episode of Inside Out. I'm Lane Sarston.
And I'm Briley Boyce.
Starting off today's show, we're going to have Blake Friars over at the sports desk. He's got some information about the Minot State baseball team yesterday. Unfortunately, they dropped a couple, but they've got some good news on the way.
Well, even though that sports team didn't do so well yesterday, we have another sports team, our football team, that had their spring game yesterday that played really well, and I have Coach Nissen to talk about that.
Great. I'll be bringing in Aaron Richard, the newly re-elected SGA president.
And then Taylor Rosario will have news with us today, and she's going to talk about some things and also a powwow that's happening tomorrow and Saturday, and I'm excited for that. I'm part Native American, so it's exciting.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then inside of that segment, we'll be seeing Kylar Sharp. He's got a live over at Sevens, I believe.
Yep, and then we're going to finish up with Hannah Davis with the weather.
Alrighty, Blake. So our men dropped a couple of games yesterday, but I think they played fairly well from what you've said.
Yeah, they had 12 hits in the first game, dropped it, a walk-off hit in the ninth inning. Second game, the bats went dry, but they're still second in the NSIC, so they're looking to finish strong and head into the playoffs.
Yeah, hopefully they can get some momentum.
For sure. The baseball team dropped a pair of games yesterday in St. Cloud. Despite 3 home runs from Trevon Smith, the Beavers still fell 9-8 in Game 1 on a walk-off single. In Game 2, the Beavers could not get their bats going as they dropped the second game 8-3. The pair of losses puts the Beavers' record to 23-14 record overall and 21-6 in conference play. They still sit second in the NSIC. The Beavers will be in action this weekend when the Upper Iowa Peacocks visit the Magic City for a 4-game set. The softball team was swept at home outdoors yesterday at the hands of Northern State University. They dropped the first game 12-9. A positive sign, though, was the offense had 14 hits. In Game 2, the bats went completely dry. They only mustered 6 hits and a 7-1 loss. Julia Sukin had herself a day at the plate, going 6 for 8 in the pair of games. The losses pushed the Beavers' record to 23-20 overall and 10-12 in conference play. They will be in action this weekend on the road for 2 against Mankato. The Minnesota Twins salvaged a split to avoid the sweep at the hands of the red-hot New York Yankees. The Twins were outscored 29-11 in the 4-game set. The Twins third in the Central behind the Tigers and the Indians with a 9-11 record. The Twins open up a crucial 6-game homestand tomorrow against the Cincinnati Reds and the Toronto Blue Jays. The Minnesota Timberwolves' storybook season came to an end after losing Game 5 to the NBA-leading Houston Rockets. Although they lost Game 1 by 3 points and took Game 3 at home, but the Houston Rockets showed everybody why they are the team to beat in the NBA this year, scoring over 115 points in 3 of the 5 games, and James Harden scored 136 points in the 5 combined games. It was the first taste of playoff basketball for the players and the fans in Minnesota since 2003 and 2004. The second round of the NHL playoff gets underway tonight with the Washington Capitals and defending Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins rematch. The Penguins won last year's matchup in 7 games. The Vegas Golden Knights will look to continue their magical season in round 2 versus the San Jose Sharks. The Nashville Predators will face the Winnipeg Jets, and the last series in the East will round out with the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Boston Bruins. Spring football is underway here. The offense beat the defense by 3 points on a late field goal. The football team finished strong last year, and they look to continue their momentum this year and in the spring.
Yep, offense won. It was 30-29. I actually have the offensive line coach with me, Coach Nissen. So thank you so much for being with us today. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm doing great. So the spring game was yesterday. How did it go for you?
It went well. It was good to see the guys kind of put that final product out there going into the season. You kind of have the back and forth, seeing the same guys all through spring. So it was really good to get that competition going and full tackle football. That always gets the guys ramped up. So it was exciting and saw a lot of good things from some young guys and that we were really looking to see. So it was, all in all, it was a good day.
How do you think it was for the guys' perspective?
From the guys' perspective, I think it was good. It was, 15 practices through the course of spring. Everyone's looking for that final spring game to really show what they've done throughout the course of spring ball. Just fixing those little things and going from a redshirt year in the season to finally competing for that #1 spot. So I think the guys were excited. It was a competitive game. So I think all in all, it was really good for coaches and players.
So being the offensive line coach, how did your boys do yesterday?
I thought they did good. I was really proud of all the work that they really put in throughout the course of spring ball. Really only had one significant injury. Other than that, they stayed relatively healthy, and they're a great group of guys. They love to compete. They come to work every single day, and I couldn't ask for a better group of guys. And so I thought yesterday they really finally got to put that final product out there and show what they've been working for, and really gets me excited, and I know it gets them excited for this upcoming season.
So to rewind a bit, how did spring season go overall?
Overall, it was good. I think whenever you can get out of spring ball healthy, I think that's kind of that first thing that you're really kind of hoping for as a coach, is just making sure that we don't have any significant injuries. And I think there was just one from both sides of the ball that was really kind of an output of a guy having to miss some practice. And so had some guys beat up, but all in all, I think we came out pretty healthy. And due to only having one running back through spring, we really got to open up and kind of show the multi-dimensional offense that we can be. And a lot of guys fighting for that QB spot, and I really think there was a good competition there. So I think both sides of the ball, we really got to find our identity and really build off that this summer and going into the fall.
So are you bringing any new additions to the offensive line for this fall?
We will. We'll have 6 incoming freshmen joining us in the fall. 6 guys that, a few of them that are local, and some taller, bigger bodies that we can really start to develop and push that competition level for some of the guys that are always there or already there. And also have Sebastian, one of the tight ends, kind of bouncing between tight end and offensive line as well at the tackle position. So we'll have 6, maybe 7 offensive linemen joining us in the fall to the already 12 guys that we have now. So it'll be fun.
What about for the other positions?
Quarterback, we're bringing 1 quarterback in. We've got 3 or 4 running backs that are going to be joining us as well. The receiver position is about 4 or 5 guys. I mean, every position from top to bottom, offense and defense, we should have at least 4 guys joining the group. So we signed about 46 guys in our class this year. So we have a lot of good guys coming in and a lot of competition.
So after the spring game yesterday, I saw some people run to the huddle that you guys had. Were those recruits that were at the game as well?
Yep, we had, I want to say, 15 recruits that were there watching the game. So some guys from Montana, Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota. So yeah, we made them come up there, and that was their first whole get together as a team. So we made them introduce their names, position, and where they're from. So it was pretty exciting to get those guys there and see what we're doing.
All right, for my last question for you, how do you expect off-season workouts to go?
Off-season workouts summer is always, it's kind of a time where you really separate the leadership from the coaches. I mean, there's not a lot that we can do as a coaching staff, so it's really senior driven, really team captain driven workouts in the summer. I think that really separates the good teams from the great teams. Is these next 3 months going into fall camp is who's bought in, who's gonna put that extra work in, who's gonna get the guys, the position groups all bought in and together doing some extra film session or individual stuff. It's just kind of an exciting time for really those leaders to take over and take control of the team. And so kind of finding out who those guys are and then who are the guys that are going to stick around in the summer and put in that extra work instead of going home and enjoying the beach and vacation.
Well, I know a lot of people are excited to watch you guys, so I wish you the best in your upcoming fall season. Awesome. And thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
More to come on MSU Inside Out. There's big news in student government with Lane Sarston. A powwow will be on campus this weekend. We have a live shot from Sevens with a big chamber event, and there's another nice week in the forecast with Hannah Davis after these underwriters.
All-American Trophies for all your screen printing and embroidery needs.
ArtMade, offering custom frames, art supplies, and jewelry.
Buffalo Wings and Rings, a sports restaurant experience located in South Minot.
Badlands Bar and Grill, located on 31st Avenue in Minot. Fiance, with all your prom and bridal needs, located in downtown Minot.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
KIZZ FM Z94, playing today's hit music.
Mix 99.9, Minot's music mix.
Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream, serving the Midwest since 1972.
KRRZ, 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KZPR 105.3 FM, Minot's rock station.
Jacobson Music, bringing music to the Northern Plains since 1980.
KYYX, Kicks 97.1, bringing Minot country since 1977.
MSU Beavers Hockey, online info at msubeavers.com.
Qdoba, easy, on time, full of flavor.
MSU Theater Department, year-round entertainment.
Forward Communication, connecting professionals in the Midwest.
MSU Bookstore, for all your campus needs.
The Red and Green, MSU's student-run newspaper.
Magic City Hoagies, locally owned sandwich shop located in Southwest Minot.
Spicy Pie, pizza, grinders, beer. The Minot Masonic Lodge, good men working to be better. Taco John's, offering fresh tacos, burritos, nachos, and breakfast. Thrive-In Financial, connecting faith and finances.
PMQ Entertainment, performing at weddings, proms, and dances.
The Pursuit, creating a place in Minot where everyone is welcome.
Mouse River Players, community theater since 1971.
H-Bar-B Construction, for all your oil field needs.
Welcome back. With me now, I have the newly re-elected SGA President, Aaron Richard. First off, congratulations, and secondly, thank you for being on the show today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So first off, the re-election, you got to go through a campaign.
For sure.
How did that go for you, and what were some of your strategies and ideas?
So a little bit different than last year. Last year I actually ran unopposed, so I didn't have to do a whole lot of campaigning. I did some posters and stuff just to get my name out there. This year was a lot more intense because I did have an opponent. So I had posters on campus, did sidewalk chalk everywhere. You might have seen that walking around.
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram were my two big ones. So I had a lot of stuff on Facebook, posted a lot about some of the different things that we did throughout the year, just to show people what I was involved in and what SGA accomplished, as well as just to get my name out there so people could learn about myself a little more.
Cool. It sounds like you definitely did a good job. I mean,
sure, thank you.
You won.
I did.
Yeah.
So it was a long week of campaigning, that's for sure.
Well, it's done. It's over with, and now we get to look forward to some improvements for next year.
For sure.
What do you got on the docket?
I want to continue our work with campus sustainability. That's been a big passion of mine. I used to live in Minnesota, so coming up here and not having recycling in town was a big change. I mean, it's like I'm used to just throwing everything in a recycling bin and never having to worry about it. Up here, I feel guilty when I throw away bottles and cans and those kind of things. Yeah. So I really want to work towards making Minot State a little bit more sustainable. There's a lot of small things we can do here on campus that are going to make a big difference in the future. And I do think that Minot State's a great voice in the community for sustainability because we have such a great influence in Minot. We can help to get some programs and things kick-started and that the city of Minot can probably take advantage of in the future. So.
What are some of those programs and stuff that you have brewing, I guess?
So we're working right now with our campus sustainability committee. We really need to work more on education regarding recycling. We do have a few recycling stations throughout campus. They are used for the most part correctly, but every once in a while people will throw things in there. Like for example, if you have a water bottle that's full of a liquid or something that's not water, if you throw that in there, it contaminates the rest of the recycling, so that all has to be thrown in garbage. So everything that was in that container goes to waste. So really just educating people about how to recycle and making it more available on campus. You walk around every classroom, there's garbage cans. It's like we need to have more recycling cans out there because the vast majority of waste we have on campus, like paper and plastic, is recyclable. So why not make it more convenient for people to dispose of those things?
Yeah, and it seems like it would be a fairly affordable thing for the university to implement.
Oh, of course. And even some of the existing bins, just taking those and recoloring them and rebranding them into a recycling bin is super affordable. So
that's something you seem to be very passionate about.
It is, yeah. It's a fun thing to do, and it's a great topic. Recycling is something that everyone should be invested in. It's good for everyone's future, so it's something I really enjoy.
Is there anything you've really heard about from the student body side of things that they might want to implement?
One of the biggest things right now is student transportation. It kind of ties into sustainability, there we go, a little bit with like a bike share program that we're trying to start. This is still in the future a little ways. It'd be a collaboration between Minot State, City of Minot, and like the Park District. So trying to get a bike share going on City of Minot, so having MSU be a station for that, as well as some different parks in downtown to initially get this program started. So that helps us sustainability-wise because you're not driving around everywhere. You have another option to get around town. And then it also helps students get around town during those nicer months. We actually have an honors class that did a project this semester looking into student transportation needs. So they investigated that a little bit, but then they also looked at doing like a student shuttle service and getting a student bus going on.
Oh, wow.
I'm actually meeting with that class next week to learn a little bit more about the research. So I'm really excited about that because this is definitely a really good topic about things we need to talk about on campus.
Last question for you
is
if I, as a student, want something done, or how can I get a hold of you to get that going?
Yep. You can stop into the SGA office anytime. I have my weekly schedule posted on the board for when my office hours are. Best way right now with finals week to reach me is email or via Facebook if you're friends with me on there. So a couple different ways. You can also reach out to our SGA website or Facebook page as well. Those are all great options.
Alrighty, thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah,
look forward to another year here on campus, so it'll be fun.
Should be great. Perfect. I wish you the best of success.
Thank you so much.
Now, heading over to news, we've got Taylor Rosari. Taylor, I've heard there's a powwow coming up on campus this weekend.
Yeah, there's going to be, I don't know if you've ever had an Indian taco, like the fry bread tacos, or you, Aaron. Yeah, they're really good. So there's going to be that, some food booths. There's also going to be some song and dance, so just a way to kind of immerse yourself or learn more about the culture that surrounds North Dakota and other areas.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah. You can experience authentic Native American culture this weekend at the Minot State Dome. The MSU Native American Cultural Awareness Club is presenting its annual Spring Honor Dance and Powwow celebration. The celebration takes place Friday and Saturday. Events during the celebration include dance, food booths, and song. These activities and others will begin at 11 a.m. each day. Grand entries will also be held at 1 and 7 p.m. Admission is $3 for ages 12 to 55, and elders, along with Minot State students and faculty, are free. For more information, contact MSU Native American Center Director Annette Menham at 701-858-3365. A famous figure who is popular on Minot State's campus will be honored this weekend. MSU will be celebrating Cyril Moore's 100th birthday. Cyril was an associate professor of chemistry of MSU from 1943 to 1962. Moore was also the chair of the Division of Science and Mathematics between the years of 1959 and 1962. After Cyril passed away in 1964, Minot State named its science building after him in 1976. The event will run from 2 to 5 p.m. with an open house in Moore in the Science Center. You can take a tour of the building between 2 and 3:30. A presentation will also be given about the professor from Professor Christopher Heath following the tours. Refreshments will be served and admission is free to the public. April is designated as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. The Domestic Violence Crisis Center held a fun event today to do their part in fighting this crime. The Walk a Mile in Her Shoes Awareness Walk was held in the Minot State Dome. Participants wore high-heeled shoes while walking the track in the dome, and members also collected pledges for donations for the DVCC and its fight against sexual assault. To learn more about the DVCC and how you can do your part in battling sexual assault, call 701-852-2258 or visit courageforchange.org. The power of networking is vital with many businesses of today's world. Kylar Sharp is standing by with an example of how many area firms do exactly that.
The Minot Area Chamber of Commerce has proven to be a link to the community and for many area businesses over the years. And tonight they're holding one of their monthly events, Business After Hours. And joining me now is Kylar Dolan. Kylar, what is so valuable this event is for many area businesses?
You know, our chamber members find value in it because it's a great networking opportunity. They network with one another, bring their business cards, visit with one another about business, and that's what we like to call it, business after hours, because, you know, it's after 5 o'clock. It's an opportunity to have something to eat, maybe have a drink, and then visit with one another about business and what's going on in the community.
Is this event very good for like other businesses to network with each other?
Yes, that's the sole purpose of it. We want them to network and get to know one another, and perhaps, you know, if there's someone out there that maybe is in the computer business and then someone else who's in the design business, maybe they'll meet up here and say, hey, we could use each other's services.
That's awesome. Thank you for being here.
You bet.
And joining me now is Jeremy Feller, who's with Minot State University, and he also is joining the Business After Hours. So you've seen the turnout. What do you think about this turnout tonight?
We like coming. Like Kylar said, there's so many different businesses that show up here. It's just a fun chance to network, and you get to meet a bunch of different people from all over the town. So it's something I mark my calendar for every month, and I enjoy coming.
How many months do they do this out of the year?
I typically take the summers off. People get a little bit busier in the summer, so typically just through the winter months here, and it's kind of a fun thing to do.
All right, thanks, Jeremy. That's it, guys. This is the Minot Area Chamber of Commerce Business After Hours. We're going to send it back to Taylor in the studio for more news.
Thank you, Kylar. The chamber is located in South Minot. Another fun event supporting a good cause will be happening tomorrow evening. Minot's International Brotherhood for Electrical Workers is hosting the Brave the Shave event. Participants will have their haircut and beard shaved to support local children battling cancer. The proceeds will be donated to research in the fight against this disease. Brave the Shave believes all kids deserve a healthy, worry-free childhood and are committed to supporting their families and critical research. The event runs from 12 to 3 at IBEW's building located at 125 35th Avenue Northeast. Creators, gamers, comic book fans, and more. Imagicon will be taking over the Magic City this weekend. The event is focused on comics, gaming, and cosplay. Competitions at the convention include Smash Brothers tournaments and cosplay contests. Imagicon runs Friday through Sunday at the Holiday Inn Riverside. To learn more about Imagicon, you can visit imagiconnD.com. So, Briley and Lane, I don't know about you guys, but I know the Marvel movie Avengers Infinity War is coming out tonight, so there might be a lot of people dressed up in those kinds of costumes at Imagicon this weekend.
Yeah,
I know that you mentioned that you've been to Imagicon a few years ago. How was that for you?
It's crazy. It's really busy. There's a lot of people, but it's a lot of fun, I'd say. When I went, I was working on a camera for us here, so I didn't get to interact too much, but it's a good time.
I know that I've seen billboards all over Broadway and flyers about it, so that seems pretty fun.
Yeah.
Thanks, Taylor.
Are you planning on going to go see the movie this weekend?
I actually might see the movie, but the weather's so nice outside, I don't know if Avenger fans will be in the movie theater or heading over to Imagicon.
What about you, Hannah?
For me, I do work every weekend, but with my job, I do get to be out and about, so I will get to experience some of that wonderful weather that you were just mentioning.
Yeah, you'll be out and about. You're working for KX, right?
Yes, that's correct. But yeah, the weather is gorgeous, and it's only getting better. In fact, I'll show you guys over here in my weather center. And right now, the temperatures are pretty average for April. Like, you really can't complain. I know at the beginning of April they were so below average and honestly so sad, but now it's starting to look a little more normal. We got some 60s across the board. It's a little colder in the west, but there is a lot more wind in the area, and that wind, as well as the low humidity levels that we're having, the kind of drier weather that we're having, has culminated to cause a red flag warning, which basically just means if you're planning on having a bonfire tonight, you might need to hold off because anything might start off a burn. So just hold off for a couple more days. We should get some rain actually coming up later this week. I'll give you guys a hint of that later on, but we can't complain, honestly. And our boys track team is traveled to Des Moines already. They're actually there now. We have a couple of students on the broadcasting department that are there right now. They ran a little bit today, and they're going to be running some more this weekend. Tomorrow, they're going to have just fantastic weather for running. Like, you can't, not too hot, not too cold, but then we have another drop, a 10-11 degree drop. That's so strange. I believe last week I did a forecast as well, and there was another big drop like that as well. And then on Sunday, it's going right back up to 70 degrees, so it's going to be wonderful for them. And yeah, good luck to them as they play. And we're going to have a little bit of a warm-up for the rest of the week. It's just going to get better and better until Sunday, and we're going to have some beautiful weather, as we were talking about a little bit earlier. And then because of the warm rising in temperatures that we've had, it's kind of caused some tumultuous weather. And there's a 20% chance of storms on Monday and Tuesday. I didn't put them on the board because it's a pretty small chance, but I am hoping that the storms, I actually enjoy seeing storms, so I'm hoping that the storms, I hope they're not too dangerous. They shouldn't be too bad since it's April.
Back in ancient times, we used these. They were heavy, bulky, and worst of all, sharp. Nowadays, we have this. Small, sleek, fits in your pocket, and most importantly, you can't accidentally cut yourself. So now that you have the tools you need, you're gonna need the skills to use those tools. So what Minot State did was make a concentration based purely on social media. Offering classes from graphic design to video, you'll be prepared and ready to take anything that gets thrown at you. Anybody can do it, regardless of major. So, oh, hold on, just gotta tweet out this selfie really quick. Minot State social media concentration.
Alrighty, that social media concentration is going to be a lot of fun. But before we end our show here today, we want to say thank you to everyone who came on. Thank you, Aaron Richards, our re-elected SGA president. Hope you have a great term.
Thank you, Coach Nissen. It was a great interview today. And remember, next week will be our finale of the show, and so it will be an hour long, and you'll be able to see us double time.
Yeah, it'll be a fun time. Thank you for watching this week's episode. I'm Lane Sarston.
And I'm Briley Boyce.
Enjoy your weekend.